Hi children, in our previous session we have discussed about force. We learned the definition of force in a detailed way, that is, force is that external agent which changes or tends to change the shape, size and state of rest or state of motion of a body. That is what the explanation we have done. Now, today we will discuss about two types of forces, different types of forces. Here in the picture you can see many activities you can see here. Okay, and here you can see the first picture. A woman pulling water from a well. As she pulled the rock, the water in the bucket raises up. So here, which is the agent? Hands, her muscles. Her muscles apply the force. And in the next picture, a man pushes trolley. And in that picture, you can see who is the agent, which is the agent which apply the force there. That also the person's muscles apply the force there. And in the next picture, a coconut falls down towards the earth. Which is the agent doing work there? Earth. And next, a ball rolls on the floor and comes to rest. Who is the agent doing work there? The floor. And in the next, magnet pulls nail towards it. Who is the agent doing work there? Magnet. And in the next, a charged scale attracts small pieces of paper towards it. Who is the agent working there? Charged scale. So here different agents. I mentioned agents which which apply force there. Okay. And here the woman applied here muscle of the woman applies the force, I said. Isn't it? On which body it applies the force? On the rope. So the agent and the body on which the force is applied, both are in contact with each other. The rope on which the force applied, both are in contact. And in the second picture also, the muscle of the man and the trolley on which the force is exerted, both are in contact with each other. In the third picture, the coconut and the earth. Earth is the agent. So the agent and the object on which the force is exerted, that is coconut, are not in touch with, not in contact with each other. In the fourth, the ball rolls on the floor. The floor is the agent and on the ball the force exerts. Both are in contact. But in the next case, magnet is the agent and nail is on which the force exerts. Both are non-contact. In the last case also, the scale, charged scale is the agent. Paper is on which the force exerted is paper. Both are non-contact. So yes, we can see that some forces exerts when the objects are in contact with each other. Some forces can exist only when the objects are in contact with each other, while in some cases, even though the objects are not in contact with each other, the force can be exerted on one another. Okay, so the force which can exert only when the objects are in contact, such forces are called contact forces. And the force which can exert when the objects are not in contact with each other, such kind of force is known as non-contact forces. So, from the picture, can you say which are the forces contact forces and which are non-contact forces. Here in the first two picture, that is the lady pulling water. In that picture you can see the what kind of force is exerted, what is the name of force existing between this rope and the muscle of the lady? Muscular force. In the second case also, this muscles is exerting force. So muscular force. Muscular force exists when human beings or animals, even animals also exert muscular force. When the bullock pull the cart, then that is muscular force. Okay, so even though the muscles of the animals exert the force, that is muscular force. And in the next picture, coconut falling down. Here, what kind of force exists? What is the name of that force existing between the earth and the falling object? Yes, it is gravitational force. What is gravitational force? The force with which earth attracts every object towards it is known as gravitational force. Not only the earth, every object in the universe attract each other. Okay, such force is known as gravitational force. So the force with which every object attract each other, that force is known as gravitational force. Here in this case, earth is attracting coconut. Okay, it's here gravitational force. The next, frictional force. In the next ball rolling on the floor, that force is force. So what is frictional force? When an object rolls or moves on the surface of a surface, the surface exerts a force on the moving object which opposes its motion. Such force is known as frictional force. What is frictional force? When an object moves over another surface, the surface exerts a force on the moving object which opposes its relative motion. That force is known as frictional force. Frictional force exists only when two objects are in contact. Okay, moving object is in contact with the surface. So it is a contact force. Then next force, what is the next force in picture E? What kind of force is it? Magnetic force. Magnetic force is a non-contact force. And in that magnetic force, what is the magnetic force? The magnet attracts magnetic substances towards it. Or magnets can attract or repel another magnet. The force exerted by a magnet on a magnetic substance or another magnet is known as magnetic force. The force exerted by a magnet on a magnetic substance or another magnet is known as magnetic force. And next is electrostatic force. What is electrostatic force? When a charged body, that is, how can we charge a body? Suppose a plastic scale. How can we charge it? By rubbing on the dry hair, isn't it? And when we rub the plastic hair or plastic comb or plastic pen or with your dry hair, it gets charged. And this charged scale or comb can attract small pieces of paper towards it. Okay, this force is known as electrostatic force. So electrostatic force is a force exerted by a charged body on an uncharged body, or a force exerted by a charged body on another charged body. That force is known as electrostatic force. The force exerted by a charged body on another charged body or on an uncharged body. That force is known as electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is a non-contact force. Even though the paper pieces are not in contact with the charged scale, the scale can attract the paper pieces towards it. So it is a non-contact force. So here from the picture, muscular force is a contact force, frictional force is a contact force, gravitational force, magnetic force, electrostatic force are non-contact forces. And the next is a column. You can fill it. You can what situations are given. You have to mention due to contact between objects or with no contact between the object. Pushing a trolley due to contact. A coconut falling from a coconut tree due to with no contact. Drawing water from a well due to contact. A ball coming to rest after being rolled due to contact. Magnet attracting a nail with no contact between the objects. A plastic scale rubbed on hair attracts pieces of paper with no contact between objects. So now I hope children all of you understood what is contact force, what are non-contact force, two types of forces, and examples for contact and non-contact forces, definition for muscular force, gravitational force, frictional force, magnetic force, and electrostatic force. Please read the textbook again and we will continue in the next session. Till then, bye.